Johnson, well, we noticed that Cody is not here today. Wow, what can you tell us about his situation?
He's going to meet us in BC, I can tell you that. So that's all I'll say about it.
Since he's already out west?
He's already out west. There was no need. The way it worked out last week, we were expecting him to come back. It just schedule-wise didn't work for he and his family, so he decided to stay home, and we were good with that. And the expectation was we had one practice here this week. He did all of our calls this morning, got the game plan late last night and did everything with us today meeting-wise, and then it just made more sense for him to stay home. He threw today with some buddies, the whole game plan that we're putting in, so he'll be ready to go.
So he's been practicing on his own.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have a baby. His wife had a baby. So he's been able to run and throw a bit, so he'll be ready.
The rosters are not that big in the CFL, so how many people are you going to bring, and do you expect some regulars to stay here?
We're bringing the 47 we bring. We always bring 2 extras just in case things happen overnight, or during warm-ups. That's what we've been accustomed to doing. 45 are going to be on the roster. And the way the rosters are, they are small. And, the salary cap's real. I mean, this time of year, you can't go over. We're not going to go over. Danny manages that extremely well. We've had a plan all year for this. So the guys around that 45 are going to play. Now, how we decide to rotate people through is different. But, I mean, you never hear us talk about anybody who plays for us. The expectation is you play like the guy ahead of you. And so no matter what rotations we have, the expectation is always our standard of play. And that'll always be, fast, physical, doing your job. And, obviously ability, toughness, and effort's always what we care about. So as long as we're doing those things and our guys will be locked in, it doesn't matter who's in the lineup. It's just those 45 will be the ones playing and finishing the game for us.
Last week you mentioned that, you wanted Davis Alexander to get some playing time. He hadn't played in a while. He's going to get his second start in a row. Is it the same thing with tailback Stevie Scott? We saw him getting a lot of reps today. Is it a matter to get him some playing time just in case something happened down the road? So they'll be ready to go.
You're assuming that Davis is starting, so I'll just let you assume that. But at the end of the day, yes, we know that Davis is going to play in this game. We want our quarterbacks playing, both of them. So same thing with running backs. You're exactly correct on that measure. Obviously, Sean's not gotten a ton of carries this year, and Stevie's gotten 0. So, if something were to happen to Fletch, next week or the week after, you surely would want those guys to at least have playing time. So that's the aim this week, is to get them in the lineup and see how it goes. And then, like I said, I don't care about who's on the 45. Our guys know that. It's guys that are on there, play like the guys, like your representation of who we are. And I know our guys will do that, whoever's in there.
Mustafa Johnson.
What about him?
I didn't see him in a while, and I like him very much. Should I worry?
Well, no. I mean, he's definitely dealing with something, so we're keeping him in and to work on some things. That's all I can say about it.
And is Austin healthy?
Austin is healthy. It's, again, same thing. It's a short week for us. We're able to play other people, so we know what Austin's dealing with, and we just want to make sure he's as healthy as he's going to be for the stretch. Playing him in 5 days wasn't smart for us, so we chose to sit him. He didn't want to sit, and he feels good, but it's what's best for our football team.
Obviously, this team has an historic bad time in the BC, playing in BC in a game that doesn't really matter on the standings for you. Is that the kind of things you can use as a motivation?
Well, I like the way you put that. It doesn't matter in the standings, but it matters to us. I mean, every time we play, we want to play to our standard, and we've said it before. There's no meaningless games for us. So, when we go into BC, the whole idea is to go there to win. What's happened in the past is in the past. That does not help us or hurt us, to be honest with you. So our guys will be focused and ready, and we'll play hard as we can for 60 minutes with the outcome expected to win. So that's what we're shooting for, and we're going to give her like we do every year.
Does traveling to the other end of the country takes a big toll on the performance of the players?
I mean, I'll say this. I mean, we did it already in Winnipeg, won a game, did it in Edmonton, won a game, did it in Calgary, tied a game, did it in Sask, won a game. Since I've been here, we've gone to Calgary and won. The only place we haven't is BC yet. And, does it take a toll on you? Yeah, it's harder to do it than playing at home. But, I mean, we do it 9 times out in a year. Traveling is traveling. So we've prepared for it. We practice a certain way to customize ourselves to where our guys and bodies, minds, and rest will be afforded, and our guys will be up to the physical ability they can play with. So, but is it harder to go? It's always hard to play on the road. I mean, you're away from it, but we do a very good job of focusing. Our guys kind of believe that home is where we are. So I don't look at it as anything but an advantage for us, even though a lot of people will tell you that it is harder. I agree that it is, but it's not. A win is not unobtainable on the road, and I think we've proven that.
Just maybe one last question, like how challenging, you're going to receive an East final. How challenging is this, to prepare the team for maybe resting, and building a plan about that,
I don't think it's very difficult at all. We're going to continue to grind, continue to do what we do. There's nobody really resting. I mean, we're going to select a couple players that we can afford to rest here and there, but when we practice, we practice. When we lift, we lift. We run, we work. So there's really, other than the small amount of games we have left, which is just 2 before we play a playoff game, that's the only time everybody won't be playing. But the way we work more in practice than we do anywhere, and that bye week's going to be spent working. So our guys know that, and we're going to be ready to roll at that time of year. But each second, each day, and each hour until then is going to prepare us for that moment. So I think our guys are understanding that it's a grind. We talked about very clearly at the beginning of the year. It was grind for 9, and the grind is still going.
So you expect them to stay here during the bye?
Yes, everyone will stay here. We will work. It'll be a work week for us.
Your second start in a row. Talk to us about gaining this opportunity and the challenges also of having such a short week to get ready.
Yeah, to be honest, I know I usually mess around. I really don't know the plan this week.
They talked to you after last week?
No, they actually didn't talk to me. They didn't talk to me, so I must have done okay. But this week, I promise I don't know actually what the plan is. Obviously, I'm going to attack it like I'm the starter. We only had the one practice today. Obviously, I was the only one who took reps, but I'm not really sure what the plan is. Short week, you cram a whole bunch of film in, cram a whole bunch of game plan in. It's challenging, but luckily, we got the guys to be able to go out and do this type of stuff and put in a complex game plan, and still trust our guys to make the right decisions, and know what they're doing out there. So we feel good. Long travel out west, and we'll be ready to go.
How is good for you to play in different environment? Like the weather was crazy at the last game, but now it's indoor.
Yeah, I mean, you can't control the weather, so you got to be ready for it all the time. I thought we did okay for the elements. Obviously, not up to our standard, my standard, but we did enough, and we were still able to move the ball a little bit. Obviously, our defense is lights out. We trust them. So same time, you don't want to try and do too much, right? In games like that, felt like we were in control of the game most, if not the whole game. So weather's tough, but can't ever use it as an excuse.
How much friends and family are going to be at the game in BC? I mean, you're from the Pacific Northwest, so it's really close.
Yeah, it's tough because I do have quite a bit coming out, but I kind of told them the same thing I'm telling you guys, right? I don't know who's going to play. I don't know who's starting. Obviously, some people still want to come regardless. So I think we're going to have about 24, 26 people, which is pretty good. So excited for that. My birthday's the next day, so I'll actually be staying in BC, hanging out with some friends and family and stuff. So yeah, that'll be nice.
Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
You mentioned, I remember you and I talking, and you had mentioned to me that part of the reason you had worn number 3 was because of VA, and now VA's on the other side. If you do play, I mean, I'm curious, how much did you take from VA while you guys were together, and just your impressions of him getting back there?
Oh man, I got so much love and appreciation for VA. We talk all the time. He actually, he texted me last night. He's actually giving me some tickets for the game. I got him some tickets for when he came to Montreal, so that's kind of the relationship we have. I just told him I'm happy for him that he's getting a chance to go back out there and show what he can do. And I know he messaged me saying a heck of a scrappy win, and whatever, 4-0, 5-0 as a starter. He's happy, he's proud of me, and I can't thank him enough for just welcoming me when I first got here, and even before that, he was training in Tacoma, Washington, and I was training in Seattle. He saw I signed, and he reached out, asked if I wanted to come work out with him, and I was like, heck yeah. And yeah, so he's a great dude. Can't speak highly enough on him, and I don't want him to do well against us, but I want him to succeed.
What's something that you maybe worked on over the last 3 seasons that you thought you got better at, but now it's kind of been confirmed through your play here over the 5 games that you've gotten that you're like, yeah, I did improve that way?
Yeah, honestly, just a big thing here that they were always on me about was touch, touch on the ball, because I think they thought, and I thought sometimes too, but they thought a little bit more than me that I was just out there throwing it too hard, and I think that also comes with not fully understanding the playbook, and I'm late on stuff, so I do end up shooting the heck out of the ball, and now I've gotten a lot more comfortable, and you see touch on the ball and all that stuff, so that'll be number one.